Using mulch on your garden, it can help prevent weeds from sprouting and spreading. It can help protect your plants. But which mulch is best for your needs? Well, here to tell us everything that we need to know about mulch is master gardener, the green thumb guru himself, Ed Sourdiffe. Ed, it's a pleasure having you here today.
Good to be here, Seth.
Let's start. If we want to have a mulched area, it seems like the first thing that we need to do is put down some sort of barrier.
Well, yes and no. There's different opinions on that. But first, I'll tell you what mulch is. Mulch is basically anything that covers the soil surface, either to suppress weeds or to keep it cooler or just to beautify it. So that's mulch. A mulch can be simple, where you use nothing at all, where you basically hoe up the top of the soil to get down weeds, and that is called a dust mulch. And that will actually retain moisture in the soil by breaking up capillary action. Then you can actually add things to the soil, like you're saying. We have a couple things here. We have some inorganic gravels here, a 3/8 stone, which is here. It's a little bit larger.
Now, why might someone decide to go with stone as opposed to, your old-fashioned mulch?
Well, stone will last forever. Mulches that are organic will decompose and break down with time, and some people just like the look. And then the next one that we were talking about that's going to be non-organic would be a pea stone or a 3/4 stone here. This would be a little bit easier to walk on. This one would probably be better,
more decorative.
Yeah, and for driveways and things like that. Then what you can also go into the barks and the bark mulches, and that's what this is. This is actually a cedar bark mulch, and this is a pretty good. They say that it repels insects. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they say. And this will last nicely. Actually, cedar bark mulch lasts a long time when you put it down. It doesn't rot as easily as some of the other ones. And one of the longest lasting bark mulches is actually hemlock bark mulch.
Really?
Yeah, and that's a good thing too. Then next, you can actually mulch with basically. You can basically with composted leaves.
Oh.
This is a leaf mulch, basically. It's the leaves that are broken down. You get a leaf mold, and that's what this is. And you can put this on top, and will actually fertilize the soil also. So that's a good thing to use.
So maybe people should keep their leaves when they rake them in the fall. Keep them somewhere?
Oh, you definitely should. You should never throw your leaves to the curb or whatever. You should actually run your lawnmower over some of them. It'll help decompose them quickly. Then just put them in the back of your yard somewhere that you're not looking at it, and just leave them there for a year or two, and they'll break down. You'll get great organic stuff like this that you can either use on top or just mix into the soil. So that's a really good thing. Now, you were talking about different coverings of the soil. So why you do that? This is actually, I have two here. I have this,
This one's a little heftier.
Yeah, this is a heftier one, but we'll talk about just regular landscape.
So it's basically ground cover that helps to prevent weeds from spreading out.
Yes. This is a landscape fabric is what this is actually. And this is actually a really good version of it. Sometimes you'll go to the stores and you'll find that it's really like paper, and it really won't last for you. And what this will do, this will actually separate your mulch from the soil that's underneath it, and this will prevent weeds from coming through it. So that's a good reason for using this.
That's handy, okay.
Yeah, and then if you go to the regular stores, like a little hardware store or something, you're going to get the little rolls, or like, they're not very many, they're 12 feet or something and 3 feet. This is actually 3 by 50 feet, and this is at a building supply, and it's a better quality, so you should look into that if you're going to do that too.
So if you're going to do this, maybe spend the extra couple dollars and it'll be worth your while.
Yes, it will be, definitely.
Now this seems like a much heftier material. What would you use this for?
This is geotextile fabric. Now this is actually like a landscape fabric like that, but it's to the nth degree. This you can actually put down a stone over it. You wouldn't do this with your
bark
mulch or anything else. This would be for stone. Now you can actually put the stone on this and actually drive over it. So if you want a quick driveway or a place to park the car, you could put either of these 3/8 stones or the 3/4 stones on top of this, and this will not allow the gravel to sink down into the ground, even if you're putting a car on it. They actually use this to build roads and swamps sometimes, just to go right across for a quick road.
Now, Ed, last question. Let's talk preventative maintenance, what people need to do year to year when they have bark mulch, because it seems like this is what most people go with every year.
Yeah, bark mulch, one thing you don't want to do, and you might see a lot of people doing that around trees. A tree comes like this. Here's a trunk, and before it goes to the ground, it flares out. You'll see some landscapers actually mound it around the tree. That's bad. They actually call that a mulch volcano. And what's going to...
You don't want that.
No, the volcanoes are not always good.
No, almost never a good thing.
No, not a good thing. So what happens is when that flare is there and you bury that in the mulch, what's going to happen is the little roots will start encircling the tree there, and eventually they'll get larger and they'll actually strangle the tree. So you want to keep keep that down away from the flare of the tree. If you're going to put mulch like this, there's a debate now that some people say do not put landscape fabric because eventually this is going to decompose and you're going to get your weeds on there anyways, and it actually will compact the soil underneath. Other people say it's fine to use, but that's up to your discretion. Probably this will decompose.
So just touch it up every year, so you can get different colors too.
Yeah, and this actually, like I said, this lasts. So actually, just go out. Like I have this in front of my house. I'll go out. I'll just fluff it up with a light raking, and it'll look great for a whole nother season.
Now, Ed, I know we have a table, and I want to show everybody at home that table. How much roughly do you need per square yard in and around your home if you're going to be mulching?
Well, that would depend on how big the area you want. So you have to do the area with length times width, and I think we have that either on the it's coming up on the screen. Yeah, that'll tell you how many cubic yards if you'll need to buy. That's 100 square feet.
For one cubic
yard, yeah, and that's to get 3 inches of thick of mulch.
So that's the golden number, 3 inches thick.
Yes, because 2 to 3 inches actually will suppress the weeds if you put it right down without any weed block.
Ed, as always, great tips. Thanks for stopping by. And for more gardening tips, just visit us online, mymassappeal.com, a little bit later today.